A lovely good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of the Q Breakfast Show. It is a lovely Monday, and thank you so much once again for choosing QTV. I'm so delighted to be back once again to speak to you and to be with you throughout the entire week. And of course, do not forget our Facebook page is open. That is QTV Zambia. Let's get interactive this morning, and let's get to talk and catch up with what was happening, obviously, over the weekend. But also to kickstart our show this morning, I do have Saviour Mutale, who is the author of Exceeding the Boundaries of Senses. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Welcome to our breakfast show.
Thank you very much.
What a great way indeed to start the week, Exceeding the Boundaries of Senses. Tell us more about this book.
Okay, actually, I just authored this book this year. It's a new book on the market. The reason why I authored the book to say Exceeding the Boundaries of Senses is because usually you find that people are limited by what they see, what they feel, and what they hear. You find that a lot of people's lives are limited by the five senses. So I brought out that book to show that it's possible to defy the logic. In my intensive research, I've discovered that a human being has more than five senses. It's not only us just to see, hear, or what we touch, but a human being basically has got even more than 21 senses. Which I can highlight some, which I've outlined in the book. You find that there is a sense of imagination, which we don't have amongst the five senses. The Greek philosopher Aristotle, who said the human being has got five senses, that's true to some extent, but that's not necessarily true. Look at writers, look at artists, look at all these phenomenal people that have erected buildings, that have done massive work. They did not use five senses. There is a sense which we call the power of imagination. Everything we see in life has been brought to life by a power of imagination. We've got a sense of creativity. We've got a sense of emotion. So basically, I can also take advantage of this platform. Look at what is happening in our country right now. We find that we've got a pandemic that has hit our nation, which is the COVID. And if people want to react to it based on the five senses, will fail to manage the outbreak. It is this same time that we've been hit by this affliction that people have become innovative, whereby they've even started making cloth masks. That is innovation, of course. So we should not expect things to be the same, even when this thing clears away. Meaning we need people to be so innovative. Look at how people have invested now in digital marketing now. You find that usually we would have meetings, but now people are able to have online meetings right now. So it's possible to exceed the boundary of senses. If you want to achieve worthwhile goals in life, if you want to do things in a better way, we have to defy logic. Yes.
Okay, so in the book you talk about, in the first chapter you talk about the possibility of blindness. What do you mean by that?
Possibility blindness, I quote that to say a lot of people do not usually see opportunities around them. People are blind to possibilities around them. Somehow people feel or think somehow a miracle happen, someone will just come and hand them money, someone will just come maybe hand them their dream already manifested, which is not right. We have to start digging deeper. Every day we've got a lot of opportunities around us. We've got millions of opportunities. Young people are complaining there's no employment. A lot of people are complaining about things. But yet if we can just open our eyes, we see beyond the present realities, we find that there are a lot of opportunities around us. So people are blind to possibilities. People are always having a short-sightedness. They are myopic about what's around them. But we have to have a mentality to see beyond what we encounter in life. That's what I call possibility blindness. People are blind to what's possible for them. People have made what is happening to them a benchmark of how far they can go in life. People are just limited to where they are. I can just quickly, I can tell you, the time that I was born in a poor family, in a one-roomed house made of mud. It was difficult for me to envision myself being an author today, maybe be on TV like this, because if I was limited by my geographical area of birth, I wouldn't have become who I am today. So we have to look at what's possible for us, not what we've found. We have to exceed the barriers. Yes.
You also talk about become deaf.
Become deaf. I brought out that point to say become deaf is because a lot of people have got age to do better in life. People have got aspirations. People want to become profound leaders, but they take it to critics. Rod, I can tell you that wherever you go in life, people always talk. the way you're presenting right now on TV, someone will be like, no, she doesn't, that's not how you present. So for you to exceed the boundary of senses, you have to become deaf to critics. You have to pursue your dreams as though you are a deaf person, whereby a lot of people usually have been limited by what people say. Yeah, so you have to become deaf. It has to be a temporal deaf when you are pursuing your dreams. You don't have to look at what people say, because whether you do good, whether you do bad, people always talk. So therefore, until we become deaf, that's when now we can exceed now the boundary of senses.
And why do you think it's important to become exceptional?
Exceptional. I believe people should become keen in the area of giftings. People should be so good to an extent whereby when we bring the dead, when we bring the living and people that are yet unborn, they'll fail to do what they do, because a lot of people usually do their kind of works with a mind with no excellence attached to it. We should become so excellent in our works that it has to be the best that we can do. There was a time that I was interviewing Michael Jackson. He was asked, do you love music? He said, I do not love music, but I am music. So you find that excellence is missing in a lot of work. You find that someone is in the fashion world, they design, they're in the engineering department, but they don't want to bring out the best in what they can do. I can give you a practical example about my life. I should have mentioned it in chapter, probably page 54. Every area of work that I'm given, in every endeavor, in every field, whether from church, whether from school, if I'm assigned to a certain task to do, I do it with all my heart. And this has enabled me to gain a certain quite an amount of influence and to be relevant in my field, because I don't do work as an entitlement, I do it as a privilege, okay? When we do work with a mentality of saying, no, I'm entitled to this, we won't do it well. But if we do it as a privilege, I'm privileged to look after a certain number of people, I'm privileged to be a TV presenter, you have to do it so well, you have to become so good that it's difficult to replace you. Yes.
Okay. And you also go on to talk about using plan A only.
Plan A. Actually, we know of this common notion to say plan B. I've discovered that when people have got plan B, they don't pursue their dreams with all the fiber of their bodies. You find that people know that I've got something to fall back on. If this fails, at least I've got an alternative. I brought out that argument to say if people can have only one target and they give it all they have, they give it all the energy they have, they will surely make it. Because you find that someone wants to pursue a dream, they want to open maybe a certain business, they want to venture in any field, but they've got that mentality to say, what if this fails, then let me have a backup plan. A backup plan is not bad though, but it doesn't make you pursue your dreams with your energy, because if you've got plan B, you will go there with a mind to say, if I fail, at least I've got something to back for. But that is not what we need to do if we want to exceed the boundary of senses. You have to give it all. If it means us failing big, let us do it with all might, that we fail big than making a target with less energy.
Okay. And start before you are ready.
Okay, start before you're ready. You find that people want to do things, but they want first resources to materialize. That's when they want to do. You ask someone, what's your vision? I want to write a book. Okay, but why are you not writing a book? I want to write a book when I've got finances to finance my book. That doesn't work. You find that a lot of people that usually have projects, we undertake projects not because we've got money, but because we are so enthusiastic about it. I believe if you start pursuing your dreams, Rhoda, the world will finance your projects. Me, in my experience of writing, everything about my writing, you find the editing, the cover designing, my advisors, my mentors, they've been the masterminds behind my work. Today I'm on Spotlight, I'm on TV, but there are a lot of people behind that work. So you find that if you start pursuing your dreams, you find that the universe is on your side. People won't bring a dream already manifested to you to say, oh, Rhoda, you want to be in a fashion world. Okay, this is your area of work. Start working. No, you have to start on a scratch. You have to start before you're ready. People have to see a plan. People won't finance something that they don't see. People that have financed my books, people that have been editing my books, people that have been working on my books, first they see the effort that I put in, they see the energy, they see the passion, then that's when they can now respond to it. Yes.
And finally, turn your fear on itself, and maybe we can talk about servanthood is golden as well.
Okay. So turn fear on itself, you find that a lot of people, a lot of potentially great men and women, they've forfeited their dreams, they've made a short circuit in their life to pursue their dreams because of fear. Fear, one of the writers said, the acronym fear, F-E-A-R, we can say this is false evidence appearing real. Fear is just negative energy. Fear is the same energy that you have to pursue something, but it is energy which is in reverse. Okay, so you find that a lot of people have got this mentality to they are scared of failing. You know, I brought out in that same chapter, I said how we can turn fear on itself. Sometimes you act as though there is no fear, you just ignore it as though there is nothing to be afraid of. I also wrote in that book to say, what would you want to do in life if you are guaranteed of success? If fear was not part of it, then do it, because fear has made a lot of people even to kill themselves before their time. People are afraid to step out. They are just within the comfort zone, you know. And I believe if we pursue our dreams on a casual basis, we'll do nothing, we'll go nowhere. I believe so. Yes, then servanthood is God. Then I brought out the fact to say, if you want to invest in people's lives, if you want to touch people's lives, you have to invest in being a servant. A lot of people want to be saved before they can save. Me, what has made me exceptional in my area of work is that there are basically 5 principles that have always enabled me at least to become outstanding in any field. Number 1, I never allow an instruction to be repeated to me, whether at school, whether at church. I act upon first instruction, and this is so phenomenal. You find that people don't want to use energy twice. I brought out a point in there to say, if you've got workers in your farm, maybe at home, if you have to repeat an instruction to them twice, then you have to cut their salary, because they don't deserve it, because they're making you use the energy twice. Okay, so fear and servanthood, they are on the same continuum. You have to make sure that as you save, there should be that fear in you to render perfect work. You find that people are saving, but there is absence of responsibility in them. You entrust work with a young man, then they end up misusing work. Also working on a new book called Closing the Gap Between Generation. In my new book, I'm saying you find that rather the older generation, they've got resources. As the younger generation, we've got skills. But now we have to correlate and bring them we have to put them together now, the resources that the older generation have and the skills that we have. So right now we put them together, because you find that older generations, they've got resources, but they don't trust us as young men. You employ someone as a garden boy, they end up, tools are missing. No, I don't know where I'd put them. But you end up finding people now employing even older people as security guards, because young people are not responsible. You fail to entrust people with any position. You find that in a lot of fields, in school sector, political area, you find that in civic area, there are older men who are still serving. They are 80 years still serving, because they know if they put the youth there is no sense of responsibility in there. So we need to embrace the attitude of servanthood. We need to save. It's when you save, you access the heart of a king. Me, what has enabled me at least to gain influence and to access presence of great people in my life is a bit to save. I'm so keen in saving. I know the power of saving. I can never allow me working with an older person, they are carrying their bag, I'm working with them. I have to show servanthood. I have to go an extra mile. Okay.
Right, so let's just take you back on how you started writing and just a bit of your background.
Okay, so like I told you, I was born from a poor family where even just watching TV, we had to go and maybe do work for a neighbor for us to watch TV, especially wrestling. Then I was sleeping on the floor with mom, and it was a terrible background. But it's because I had a vision of my life. I wanted to be a writer. Then I remember that was 26th August, that was a Sunday. I saw an advertisement of my friend Mainga Simonga, his Bayonza, he's doing law. He was advertising about his book that he was launching, deciding to be great. Then I had to take advantage, I had to attend the meeting. So when I was in the meeting, I mentioned it's even in the introduction. In the meeting, these profound, phenomenal speakers started talking about how you can write a book. They started speaking, it's possible you can write a book, it's possible you can write a book. It's there when now the vision of writing was baked in me. I believe I want to write more books before I die. If I die before my time, I don't know how long the Lord will keep me, but I pray that my books will continue writing other books. So I want to write books. I want my books to be, I want to flood the globe, the global market with my books. I want my books to sell faster than talk time. I want every house to have my book. That's my vision. I feel like I can just write as many books as I want. I believe when I look at my vision, Rhoda, when I discovered my purpose for living, what the Lord has entrusted me to do, my assignment for living, if I'm to carry it effectively, at least I'm guaranteed to be around this point at least up to 90 years, and I would have finished my assignment. I've got massive work, which writing is also part of it. I feel like writing is a full-time calling for me. That's when I'm starting. I'm developing my skills. I've got mentors. I've got people that are helping me to write, but I'm so passionate about it. I wish I could produce a book every day. Yeah.
So take us through your creative process. How do you write a book?
Okay, writing a book is possible, but it's hard. A lot of people want to write books, but they don't know how to start and where to start. I brought up a point here to say we need to seek mentorship. I remember the last time that I was here to talk about my book that I produced in 2018, Mentorship, the Gateway to Uncommon Success. I believe we are a product of what we've learned from people. Everything we have, no matter how successful we are, I don't believe there's a person who is self-made. Whatever we know, whatever we have, whatever we're aspired to have, there's someone who already has what we have. I'm a product of mentorship. I've got a lot of mentors around me, people that help me with writing. So first of all, we need to seek counsel. There are people who want to stand as one-man commando. That doesn't work. You have to be accountable to a group of people who are able to scrutinize your work, to check your work. Then writing comes in intervals. When I'm researching about a topic, for example, I want to write about teenage abortion or maybe teenage pregnancies. First of all, you cannot be a writer if you're not a reader. You have to be a perpetual reader to see how people write. If I want to write about a motivational book, I have to look at other people's motivational books in the same area where I want to write. Then you look at their work, you look at the gaps that they left, and now you correlate with what you want to write. Because writing won't just manifest. People will start writing. Okay, say I've started writing a book. Okay, then you call them after a month. How far have you written? No, I'm still on just the introduction. After 3 months, I'm still on the introduction because people don't want to seek mentorship. Writing is possible, but it's hard. You have to put your energy to it. It's not something that you just wake up and but it's possible. You can write. You have to be creative. I believe every man being is creative. It's only that the society that we are born in, Rhoda, the schools that we attend, the churches that we go to, all these entities, they shape, they mold and control what we believe in. We are born for possibilities. It's possible to write. We can be creative. It's because that the society that we are born in has got the way that they've got expectations of us. So you find that the way you're in media, Rhoda, if this is your calling, probably maybe some years back when you told mom and dad I want to be in the media field, they would have told you, no, I want you to be a lawyer or a doctor. You find that the society wants us to be what they want to be. When you go to school, they've got certain rules that will suppress you and control how you should be. When you go to church, they've got a certain doctrine. When you go home, when you go everywhere, every environment you enter has got a way in which it expects you to behave. So if you want to be creative, you have to look at outside the logic, okay? I said in that book, I said, I don't believe in thinking outside the box. I believe in getting outside the box. People say, think outside the box. But you can think outside the box, but yet you are still in the box. At least you have to get out of the box completely.
Well, thank you so much for that, Saviour. But how do people get hold of you on social media?
Okay, I've got a page on Facebook, Saviour Mutale author. Then for orders of a copy, people can contact me on my direct line.
I think the Facebook page, people can actually inbox you and get your number from there. But thank you so much for coming through to our breakfast. Well, we do continue with our Q Breakfast